Sullivan is going to get taken to the ground. The ball is going to come loose. It is picked up, and running all the way to the end zone is Kerry Rhodes, but he can't get there because Leonard comes from behind to knock him down. So Sullivan was in the gun, came up behind center, went back, loses the ball. Leonard creates the sack, and then Rhodes is off to the races.
Oh, here you got the dilemma. Do you block this one or you block this one? That time Brian Leonard blocked the inside guy as he should. It's up to J.T. O'Sullivan to see the outside guy, but it doesn't matter. Jim Leonard gets there, and then Kerry Rhodes has the bear jump on his back before he gets to the end zone. But that is Rex Ryan. That is what this defense is about, and that is why they are the #1 ranked defense in the NFL and have put on a display tonight.
#1 in terms of yardage, #1 in fewest points allowed. Of course, they've allowed none tonight. Thomas Jones, the running back here. Sanchez, 8 of 15 for 63 yards. Once again, the Jets doing it mainly on the ground, and now Sanchez is going to air this one out, and that's incomplete, intended for Edwards, and we're going to check in again with Andrea.
Well, Al, Bengals trainer Paul Sparling just told me that Chad Ochocinco has no structural damage in his left knee. He's in the locker room getting it iced down. He said if he's smart, he won't be back out here. I asked him, will he be available next week? The trainer said, absolutely.
And there he was before the game, and we showed you that before. And tonight, without a catch, it's going to end his streak of 120 games with a catch.
I thought you were going to say his streak is Ochocinco.
That could end as well.
See if he lives up to it.
2nd and 10. Well, he gave himself some wiggle room as Jones get taken down, because he did tell Bob that, you know, it's a matter of interpretation as to whether you get shut down, because he said if they don't throw to me, you can't say I got shut down. But they did throw to him a couple of times, and he couldn't come up with the ball. But maybe the injury will mitigate the name change.
Yes, indeed. You know, it's been fun for me to watch Mark Sanchez in this pressure game deliver. You know, I mean, certainly the offensive line, the running game took all the pressure off. He got to throw it when he wanted to throw it. But he's a rookie, and this was a huge game, and he's going to be remembered his rookie year taking his team to the playoffs.
3rd and 8. Inside draw. Jones is going to be stopped just short of the first down.
And it's interesting, Al, in talking to him, he was talking about the one thing the coaches had to change with him was the body language situation, that he sometimes when he was having big plays, he would go over to the bench and hang his head, and the coaches ended up sort of getting on him, taking pictures of him and saying, you can't do this. You're the leader of this football team. You have to always maintain a positive attitude out here, as the Jets now go for it on 4th and 1.
And he said I had to work on the body language, and he said I had to learn to be stoic out there. And this is Jones, and with that second bounce appears to have picked up the first down. And there he was before the game coming out. That's good body language right there.
Yeah, it was easy to have good body language tonight. Everything was going right. But, you know, there's so much on his shoulders. And it was one of the things that Rex Ryan, one of the reasons he wanted to go up and get Mark Sanchez, he said it was his personality as much as anything. I knew he was going to be a dynamic leader on this football team, and I knew he wouldn't be intimidated by the press and the pressure of New York City. And that had as much to do with it as what he was doing with football in his hand.
And Walt Anderson says no, they didn't get it. Since he gets it. But the Jets lead 30-0.
The ball was at the 15.5-yard line, which is enough for a first down for New York. New York will not be charged with a timeout.
Yeah, one more thing going right for the Jets.
And the flip side for the Bengals.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, the Bengals will have some guys back next week. Domata Peko, a big run stuffer, will be back. Chris Crocker, their safety.
And these guys will be going to Cincinnati. Jones, Green, and the wild card, Smith. Wildcat, Tiger Cat, you name it. First down, 15-yard line. by Hebert after a gain of 7. Tyrese Hebert, who you knew had to go to school in Louisiana, and he did. Louisiana Lafayette.
Well, Nick Mangold, we've talked about him all night, the center. His ability to reach and to make plays and to come off the ball, this time working against Sean Smith. There have just been big holes all night long. The one name I left off for the Bengals that should be playing next week as well is Robert Gathers. So, at least from the Bengals standpoint, hopefully it'll be a little better than this one.
2nd and 3. Jones to the 3-yard line.
There's not a lot you can do, though, when you turn around in the NFL and hand it off and you get this kind of movement from the guys up front. And I told you going into this game, Al, I think this is the best offensive line I've seen all season long. You just don't see in this league guys going backwards the way the Bengals have been going backwards in this one. And if they can't correct that for next week, it doesn't matter if they play here, if they play the new Meadowlands Stadium or in Cincinnati, they're not going to be able to stop this team.
Well, the voters heard you, Mangold and Faneca to the Pro Bowl, and nobody would have argued had Ferguson been selected as well. Here's Richardson. Tony to the 2-yard line.
Well, you know things are going your way when you're even going to hand Tony Richardson the ball every once in a while. The 3-time Pro Bowler. Here's a guy. He is strictly the battering ram up front, but he's even going to get one.
Tony Richardson, very classy guy. Dresses like, who said he dresses like a CEO? Was it Braylon Edwards?
I can't remember, but he said.
Thomas Jones said it. That's who said it. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he looks like so sophisticated until he gets out there.
Right. To the 1-yard line goes Thomas Jones.
And then he starts knocking people out and talking trash and all the things that fullbacks do, and then he puts his suit back on and goes back over to Wall Street and looks the part again.
Be 3rd down and goal at the 2-yard line. And with 10 minutes left, it is Jones trying to get in, and he does. Another touchdown.
Well, take your pick, but for me, this guy right here has had the dominant game all night long. Brandon Moore, nobody's gotten off of him. He gets people engaged, he gets people moved, and he gets people out of the way for guys like Thomas Jones and Sean Green. Big time performance by this offensive line.
Yep, and they've started 31 consecutive games together, and they look like it. 37-0.